This is Tricia.
Hey, this is Tessa.
And welcome to Strong Female Lead.
Yes, I believe this is episode 30.
Is it episode 30?
I think so.
Oh my god, our podcast turned 30. What do you think she learned?
Dang. Literally nothing. No survival skills, that's...
Yeah, does she have more body aches than usual?
Probably. I hope she has insurance.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If she's a real adult, she has insurance. Hi, sweet D. We have a guest host today.
Yeah.
Patrick Serrano from at Lifetime Uncorked.
Yes, follow us. Yes, we're on Instagram, Twitter, all the things. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
I'm
and
very
for bringing us a
excited.
movie.
Oh boy, when you said pick a movie, I was like, yes, I have an idea. And then I watched the movie and I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I did here.
Really?
Well, I don't really like scary movies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a scary movie person at all.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know. This one, I was just like, when you said strong female lead, I was like, oh, obviously, like a slasher movie always has like Jamie Lee Curtis and like Halloween. You know, like that type of vibe. Like came straight to my mind.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that you went straight slasher.
Yeah, we haven't done a
because we
horror
haven't
movie.
really. Well, other than us.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was a thriller. Oh yeah, there were witches.
You're
Yes.
right.
That was like supernatural.
Yes, but
You're
not
totally
like
right.
a slasher.
Like a
Duh,
thriller.
Suspiria, yeah.
Like this could happen to me, and that's all I kept thinking the entire viewing.
Exactly. And isn't that what you
Interesting.
want in a strong female lead? Relatability.
Wow. Interesting that you full on related to this character. I'd like to know.
Oh yeah. Well, she's just alone in a house.
But she's deaf and can't speak.
I'm often quiet.
Right. Podcasts usually draw people who are quiet as hosts.
Yes.
Oh my god, my cat is sneezing.
Is that
She
what
has-
that is?
Yeah, she has sneezing fits.
Oh, I thought she was like hitting
Oh.
wood on a.
Stuck to something like.
Nope. Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you. Dude, could you do that somewhere else? So what's the movie, Patrick?
So the movie today, it's available on Netflix. They're not sponsoring us, so fuck you, Netflix.
Exactly.
But
also maybe
it is available on
sponsor.
Netflix if you want to watch and then like see what we're talking about, or you've seen it and you need to rewatch, which I actually did for this podcast. It's called Hush. It's from 2016, and I got a lot to say about it. So yeah, let's do the damn thing.
Oh my god. Well, you just reminded me because I wanted to talk a little bit about Bachelor in Paradise before we jump in, if you don't
Totally.
mind.
I mean,
you just pulled a do the damn thing.
you know, I might watch The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, Love Island. I might watch all those things.
How's Love Island?
Love Island, U.S.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's wild. Yeah.
Is it dirtier than Bachelor in Paradise?
I don't. It's kind of cuter.
Is it on network TV, like ABC,
Yeah,
or
it's
is
on
it cable?
CBS?
Ooh,
but
like
the-
Big Brother situation.
Very Big Brother vibe, like
Okay.
the same production company. Like they all are wearing like mic necklaces around, and they can't get in the water because the mics aren't waterproof. So it's really
I
interesting.
love the mic necklaces. That took me a couple of seasons of Bachelor in Paradise to realize. I'm like, why are they wearing this dumb-looking shell
Yeah,
necklace? Why do they all have this on? And it was Mike.
it's the
Because
mic
they're shirtless.
hidden in a puka shell.
And Survivor?
Oh, they do?
nice.
I also love Survivor, so any reality show, I'm pretty much here for.
So you like the competition.
Competition.
And the
I don't
social...
really do like the Bravo Housewives. I mean, I did,
Right.
but there's a lot of.
There's
I
too
got-
many casts. I just found out there's
Too
a
many.
Dallas. Who knew?
Yeah, that one's not that great. But I
My
like
sister's
this.
like swearing by it all of a sudden.
really?
She's just
yeah,
like,
your sister does watch all of them.
yeah, she
doesn't
watches all of them. I like to just chime in these conversations with random names and just say that I hate them, because then the other people feel confused as I am. Like,
Yes.
oh my god, did you see Ryan T? Ugh, fuck Ryan T. Like,
Love
That's
the
great.
first name,
yeah,
last initial
'Cause
situation with
it's just
all
like
of
you've
them.
confused the Ryans. But
Oh my god!
but,
I mean, I just
yeah. So if you don't recognize a name, that's why I'm like, oh, Chelsea M. What a
Chelsea.
bitch.
And
Chelsea
you would
with
just
an
be
I.
like, oh yeah, Chelsea M sounds great. Sounds fine.
Yeah, yeah, and her bangs.
Terrible.
Well,
my
how
God.
about Dean's mustache?
Oh boy, yeah. Dean's mustache is a real thing. It's gone now. So now, what's funny about that is, you two don't shave your face, I'm assuming. But when you shave your
Not
face
always.
after like being in the sun on the beach, like you're gonna have a tan line. So he had like a mustache tan line, and I was like, is no one else seeing this? Like, I was looking on Twitter, I'm like, are we not going to comment about that? That would drive me crazy.
It's because it's Deanie babies.
Everyone loves Deanie Babies. That's his
Oh,
that's his Instagram name. If you want to follow him on Instagram,
That's amazing. I might just for the name alone.
His face, he looks like he belongs in West Side Story to me. Like if you have this short blonde hair, he has this like 1950s sort of.
He's like a Ken doll, like a
kind of, yeah.
Very Ken doll.
I mean, he's very. I think
but
he's
with
good
like
looking.
with a blonde mustache. That sounds.
But he lives in a van, and
Lives in a van by the river.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, in a van down by the river.
He's like a 2019 hobo? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Or what?
He has no aspirations to do anything. He like said that on the show. He's like, I don't want to do anything.
He might be my dream guy.
Well,
What?
and
It's
that's the
kind
thing.
of brilliant.
Everyone on the show's like, oh, tell me more about this no aspirations. I'm in love with you. And it's like, what? There's like men on this beach that have jobs that are like lawyers, you know?
I know. It's like the bad boy version of bad boy on Bachelor in Paradise because you have to quote unquote be there for the right reasons. But the bad boy
What are the right reasons?
Love.
Wait,
Marriage.
aren't these the cast-offs? The people who didn't win?
Mm-hmm.
Who do they love? That
Well, no,
person.
they're looking right. They used to love that person, but now they're looking for new
Wouldn't
love.
they be enemies? Are they from different seasons?
It's like, yeah.
Some of them are
All
enemies.
star. Think like all stars type of
I thought it was
vibe.
just like the runoffs from the previous season, all now competing for other women. I was like, well, didn't you got over that heartbreak pretty quickly?
Well, that is a weird part about it as well. That always kind of makes you, like me, I already question the motives and everything of the Bachelor world, but the fact that like you go on a show, a lot of them not knowing who the person is, and then they're like, oh, well now I'm in love with you, and then Bachelor in Paradise starts like within a couple of months from the ending of the filming.
And the Bachelor in Paradise like production schedule's like 2 weeks.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So it is like whiplash. They just show up and
Are there success stories if people found love?
Oh yeah,
They find it more so in Bachelor in Paradise, I think, because there's just more options. Hi guys, like I mean, with the Bachelor and the Bachelorette, it's one person.
That's true.
Yeah, put me on Bachelor in Paradise. Okay, I'm ready to go.
I would have totally gone. I would have done that.
I feel like I'd want to be the Bachelor.
Yes, you'd be a great Bachelorette. I see it.
Yeah, I would be the
it.
worst because I would constantly be talking shit about all the guys just to create
No, that's what you want.
more drama for myself.
Producer's dream right here.
And I'm like, yeah, but Kyle M, you know.
I love the idea.
He's not
of
on the show.
Tessa.
He's not actually on the show.
Start my own Bachelor.
Yes, please do.
This is my Tinder matches.
I'm just thinking of you on it, and it makes
would
me
not be good. I would be like, let's talk politics.
We're gonna start a campaign. We're gonna hashtag.
Or
It's
you'd
gonna be great.
manipulate all of the staff, which would be kind of amazing.
Oh, that would be my number one goal is to get like a producer to just like bend all the rules for me.
Mhm.
What I don't know what the rules are.
I believe the show a little bit more if someone fell in love with a cameraman.
Oh,
Yes.
You know?
that's what
Someone
happened
did
on
hook up
Housewives.
once with a cameraman and then got kicked off the show for
Yeah,
it. I was
that's-
like, that was the most natural thing that occurred in this
Wait,
social
so it was a
experiment.
contestant hooked
Yeah.
up with a like not the actual Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Very against the rules. Very.
Against
That's
the
like
rules.
reality TV 101. Okay, you walk into a
Right.
reality
Well,
show, you know you can't sleep with
Then
the
all the
production.
camera people better be uggos. Like, don't hire attractive camera people if you don't want
I
me to fall in
agree.
love with them.
They look strong. They look
agree.
very strong
right?
whenever they're
carrying
on.
those goddamn lights. The
Mhm.
lighting guy probably got some great.
They do
great
have to be
arms.
huge.
There you go.
They have to be nice. You know, I don't know if I ever told you this, Tessa, and I just remembered it now, but I went on an audition, I'm going to throw quotes, for the reality show called Love in the Jungle.
What? Is that
Do you
like Survivor?
Do you remember that being out?
Yeah.
So I didn't actually want to be on it, but a friend of mine was approached. We were at a bar, and this person approached her and asked her if she was interested. And so then I thought it would be fun to just go along for fun. And they sent her the application that she had to fill out, and the person said they would send me one. I never received one. They were not interested in having my face on TV.
Boo.
But then
Idiots.
I talked to my friend and I was like, oh, okay, are you still going tonight? I didn't get the application. She's like, I did. She's like, but actually I decided I'm not going to do it. And I was like, I'm just going to go. So I filled it out and I went. And when I got there, it was at a restaurant. And I went there and I handed them the application and I was like, someone must have forgotten to email me this.
Nice.
So I filled it out. I went out of my way and I filled it out.
Hell yeah.
And I had to go into a room and just get interviewed pretty much because I just wanted to see what the process was like. And I borrowed a t-shirt from my boss at the time that said, I am beautiful. It was like this gigantic black t-shirt like that you would get at kind of like, I don't know, a concert or like a sporting event, like ill-fitting.
Yeah.
And just, I am beautiful. And then I had these cards that her mom was passing out at the hospital for some sort of like benefit that was really like kind of like trying to get people to accept themselves. It was like a self-acceptance thing. And the card said, I am beautiful. And so I handed them out to the people and I started chatting with them. And I didn't get a call back. But
you're kind of trolling them from within the audition,
Right.
which is hilarious.
Probably for the best. You don't need to be on Love in the Jungle.
it was fun.
Why not? Why not try to get on a reality show?
Yeah.
I mean, but truly, I couldn't have done it. Not a love show like that.
The only
dear
love
Jesus.
show I would go on is the one where you get married at first sight.
Oh, I love that
because
show.
I love it.
You would
I want
do
the
that?
vacation. Oh, yeah. If I can just get divorced after, there's no
Right.
consequence.
And
You're just going to give
do
me a
they
vacation?
pay for the divorce and all of that stuff? Is
I
what
think, yeah.
I'm
Like,
okay.
it's
They
like-
better.
Yeah, you like meet with some like love therapist, and then she matches you with somebody else, and then you go on a honeymoon, and then you have to be married for like 6 weeks. But then after that, you just go on another honeymoon and get divorced.
Right.
So it's like I'm into this as a life plan.
Yeah.
When are those auditions?
That
God,
show's on Lifetime. Just
It is
saying.
wild. But those seem a little more successful.
There have been like real marriages, which is just like you don't get what's happening. You don't get it. Just stop. You don't even understand.
An arranged marriage is relatively successful too for 1,000 other reasons. But like
Yeah.
it's an interesting, I mean, I think it's real fucked up to put it on TV like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
I would love to just be unqualified and just have match people and have them get married. That would be like my dream scenario.
Love that.
Just like, oh,
I really do. I am curious about the qualifications. But the one woman's name is Dr. Pepper, which I love. And she's a doctor.
Sounds legit.
yeah. I feel like she's on another another VH1 show, Dr. Pepper. That sounds
she?
really familiar.
Brilliant. Good for her. I want to be, you know what? Fuck it. I want to be a
Yeah, I was like, I feel like most of how you become a doctor is just to start calling yourself a doctor. So
That's the first step, I think.
I think so, because I'm like, really, what does it mean?
I mean, there's education.
Yeah, but I'm educated.
You're definitely educated.
So
Yeah.
I'm just going to consider myself a doctor.
Scalpel,
Yeah.
stethoscope.
You just like stand in
I
front of
mean,
a board or something, or like a group of people, and they all honor, like you just decide that you're a doctor now. And now
You
I'm
should have a
doctor.
name tag that says doctor. And spell it
should.
out.
I should just start wearing a white
DOCTOR.
coat and just see like I can get free shit. Because there's no law against impersonating a doctor, is there? Someone tell me.
Probably.
I know a cop's a thing.
pretty sure.
That's the real thing. But like, I'm not offering medical advice.
Yeah, I think that there's
If you're asking me, you have assumed I'm a doctor. It's not like a cop, like the Dave Chappelle joke where it's
Yeah.
I'm not attempting to save anyone or responding to calls.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to get some free Starbucks or like
Oh,
a sandwich.
well, shit. And I don't, you know what? I don't know. We can look it up, but I'm sure that there would be some sort of issue.
For just wearing a white coat? You can't. What about Halloween?
You know what I totally forgot? Because this tangent, maybe it's Halloween, maybe you're practicing for a role.
Yes.
Like the Winona Ryder defense. I was just practicing. I was getting into a role of mine where I'm stealing. You could do that too. It didn't really work for her though.
I mean, I'm not much of a stealth person. I'm pretty noticeable in a crowd, so I like to think that it's my spirit.
Right.
That it just like permeates a crowd in a room, and that, you know,
Totally.
like very Mary Tyler Moore style, where I'm throwing a beret.
You know
You'll
what?
just see me.
You know what I totally, I realized we didn't say, first of all, we didn't say what we do on Strong Female Lead.
This is what we do. This is it.
You're right, Tessa. This is what we do. We talk about whatever the fuck we want, and then we eventually get into a movie. that features a strong female lead.
Hell yeah.
Or someone who's not a strong female lead, and we discuss why they're not. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And we have Patrick, and we asked him about the movie, and then took him on another journey.
Yeah, that
and
was
now
quite the journey. I was kind of kicking back, like, reality
if you could
TV.
See,
It's crazy.
If you could see how our brains work.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a pretzel. Like, I'm getting there, but it's kind of...
I love it. I love
Oh, my
it.
God. First, why did you pick Hush?
Okay, so this movie features a deaf character in the lead role. So I thought that was very interesting as a strong female lead, because it kind of takes the slasher genre and flips it on its head, gives her a little more obstacles to deal with because, she's deaf, she's mute, and she has to use different tactics, like different senses, to kind of survive from this psycho killer who's coming in the woods to get her for no reason, as they do. Yeah, there's
Born
no
a psycho,
rhyme or
grew up to
reason.
be a psycho. We get it.
He's the guy from Newsroom.
Oh, really?
Did you watch Newsroom? He was the really nice guy from that.
Yes.
Well, that makes me sad a little bit.
You know what? I wouldn't know who he was. I was too afraid to watch the movie and never saw him take his mask off.
That's in the very beginning.
Yeah, he takes it out pretty early. It's
This movie scared the shit out of me. It reminded me of The Strangers, so...
Strangers is the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life.
I couldn't fucking watch it.
very similar to Strangers.
Yep. Same premise where it's just sort of no logic.
Yeah.
You're the target. It's happening.
You
Someone's
were
going
home,
to die.
which is the problem, which is why I'm a busy bee. Like,
Right. And she's like in a secluded cabin. She like gets disconnected from like all her tools that she uses. Like, I also like the movie in that aspect of like depicting like deaf lifestyle, because the smoke alarm has like crazy flashes and like it's so loud it like vibrates the house, like so she can feel the vibrations and know that there's an emergency.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought of that until I watched this movie. I'm like, oh wow.
I didn't either.
No, I'd never thought of that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you picked it. I thought it was awesome. I guess the big thing for me, and I guess I know that you brought this up, Patrick, when we were kind of texting about it offline, is the representation of a deaf person by a hearing person.
Yes.
And so it's just we find that happen with race in movies, and not like Birth of a Nation style race in movies, but
taking
like
it back,
taking it way back.
Yes.
But I did read a review by a person who was deaf who compared it to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it felt to them. But now we're starting with Crazy Rich Asians. There was an all Asian cast, but a lot of them were like half white or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like we're taking a step forward, but then there's a lot more to deaf culture than just sign language, lip reading, not being able to hear. Like there's different mannerisms that can't get picked up by someone who is hearing, and just a lot of stuff. So I wanted to open up the conversation, how you guys felt about that, because they did get some backlash. The actress in it who co-wrote it, her name is Kate Siegel, and her husband directed it and co-wrote it with her, and he's Mike Flanagan.
Right. And he said that he had no intention of even casting a deaf actress. Like, he wanted to cast his wife, obviously. But, that's problematic because there's plenty of deaf actors out there who could play the part more, true to life. And I was looking, Niall DeMarco, he was on America's Next Top Model, speaking of reality TV. But he is
another good one. Smize.
Yes. He's an advocate for deaf rights and like kind of like making sure that there is representation, which is important, but it's represented.
Love that. Keep it.
Sure, yeah.
New word.
Well, and like correctly. So in this movie, like the actress kind of goes back and forth, like on her signing, it's not the best. Like they, deaf people emote with their face a lot, and she kind of doesn't do that, or she overdoes it, and it's just kind of problematic. And then there was a tweet actually from the director that I pulled, because I was like, this is like, why was this so problematic? He tweeted that he had no intention of casting a deaf person, and he said because the character Maddie speaks a 4-page monologue as though she isn't deaf. So there's like a whole monologue, I guess, where she's like talking to herself as the character.
Right.
And he said a deaf actor couldn't do that, which isn't
They could
true.
use someone else's voice.
But I'm like, the character
Also.
you wrote has gone deaf, wasn't born deaf. So you could potentially find an actor who's been through a similar situation or
if it's just a
Has
voice, have
the-
the monologue. I mean, if it's just in there, yeah, I guess.
And she said it's the voice of her mom, so you could have had any older actress. voice
Absolutely.
that.
But it sounded like her voice,
But that was his
Yeah, which was
justification for,
which I noticed.
not doing that. So
That's not a good enough
I'd rather
justification.
he just say, "I wanted to cast my wife. This was our."
I mean, I don't know. What do you think about his justification, Patrick?
I think it's crap. He's from Maryland, so I liked that because I'm also from Maryland. And I did like the movie.
Do you think that he chose to also have the character mute because he really didn't want to have that like deaf voice in the movie at all?
Oh, sure.
Like he gave himself an out, which like
Yeah, I noticed
could
that
make
too.
People uncomfortable. But that's like
But
then
that's
don't make
part
a,
of
but
why
don't make a
it's
movie
scary.
but
Is
don't
that
make
this
a
is a
movie
person
like,
with like.
but don't make a movie like this,
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think he gave himself an out by making the character mute, which I think is really shitty.
Right, because not all deaf people
Yeah.
are mute. Hello.
Yeah, and I would say most aren't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, I don't know. I'm not
Switched
gonna-
at Birth. Have you ever seen
The
the
show, yeah.
ABC Family?
Oh, yeah,
It's
a
like
long time
they have
ago.
a lot of deaf actors on there, and like they're like the way they talk, like they're breathing, like you
Right.
can just hear their breath, like with
Because
the
they can't
movements.
hear their voice, so obviously it's not like, and just the way it just sounds different. And
Yeah, and I like that authenticity because I'm
Mhm.
like, oh wow, they're like really getting into their signing. Like it's not just like signing whatever.
Right.
They're really having emotions and feeling it, and you can see that on
Right.
screen. It's like pretty awesome.
I thought it was kind of, I didn't realize that she was mute as well. Hold on. First of all, is mute publicly, is it politically
that
correct?
is okay to say.
Doesn't it sort of sound like it wouldn't be?
Deaf and mute, yeah. Well, because it's
You
like
know what I mean?
old school.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just, because of all the other changes that have developed in language, it sounds like one that like hasn't been changed yet,
Sure.
and it will like non-hearing or you know what I mean, something. But
Right.
okay, so this
I think
is
it's kind of cute. It's like mute on the remote. You're like muting, you know?
they're like I've been muted for life, but I didn't know she was mute at first. I picked up on the fact that she wasn't making any sounds really, but then I didn't realize like it got to the point where when she was on the roof even, I was sort of like, deaf people do make sounds. Why is this girl not speaking? And I thought it was for the reason that you were saying, Hillary, that she wasn't like, they didn't want the authenticity to it or something like
Mhm.
that. And then I realized she was mute, and then I was like, oh, that's kind of convenient
Right.
for them to do that too. She can't even scream. I mean, it makes the whole thing scarier, but I found it very difficult to believe that like zero sound or breath or like even the sound of breath, like she's just 100% totally silent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, Helen Keller made sounds
Yeah.
and she was deaf and mute too.
She wasn't mute though.
I thought she was.
She was blind.
Oh.
It's,
Whoops.
there's a lot of things, you know.
Shit.
Helen Keller, she's a person.
That movie.
She's a person.
She's a person.
The
I
movie
could
The Miracle
say some
Worker.
Helen Keller jokes that are really inappropriate,
God.
so I won't do that.
I used to call my sister Helen Keller all the time. She's had these huge glasses when we were kids, and it was so funny to me that in retrospect,
Oh
you know,
my God.
problematic, but kids are mean, you
kids
know.
are mean.
Kids are mean,
I've
and that
grown
was
out of it.
a different time. I've said this on the podcast before. I forget if we cut it out or not, but my mom made us watch The Miracle Worker at my 3rd grade surprise birthday party,
Oh my god.
which was horrifying.
That's
Because when you're in 3rd grade, that's
crazy.
not. It's
Yeah,
more.
fun
It's scarier
times.
Mhm,
Yeah.
to you.
mhm.
You know.
Yeah, totally.
Because doesn't she go blind? She isn't born blind.
I think she was.
She was born deaf.
Yeah, I think she was born. But that is another thing, and we were talking about it. Is Maddie Young, the character in this movie? It's almost like they sort of bring a deaf character like they have a soft landing for her. Like, we can relate to her because she wasn't always deaf.
Right. She had,
so it's like,
meningitis or
okay,
something,
like,
yeah.
I got it. And I do see where they're coming from with that, because you do tend to gravitate towards stuff, a lot of people, towards stuff they can relate to. But it would be nice if there were more representation of people with disabilities, because it really does get kind of pushed to the side. Quiet Place is a great one, and John Krasinski refused to not hire a deaf actress. So the girl who played his daughter was actually deaf, and he thought that it would add more substance.
Yeah,
and I thought that was phenomenal.
That
I love
actress.
It kind of seems like these two got wind of A Quiet Place and then just hurried to get their script out first.
Sure.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, I obviously don't like that Maddie, the lead character's disability, or it like is almost used as like a plot device. Like,
It is.
It's
Totally is.
And I'm like,
100%.
I don't know. Like, I would have been just as scared of the movie. And I'm like, to me, they introduced the idea of her losing her hearing so that the villain and her could communicate. So I didn't think of it on a deeper level than that. But I was like, he can't scare her if she both can't see him and can't communicate with him. And like, his thing was like a torture, sadistic element. So I was like, to have that villain, she needs to be able to relate in some way to him, other than him just being an intruder. And if she can't hear him, how are they going to interact? He would have just killed her. Like, there would be, but then there's also like a weird sadistic his piece where it's like,
I don't think he would have just killed her. Yeah, he would have been able. He needed to be able to fuck with her.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the girl running in the beginning who gets like what do you call that thing?
That was rough.
Bow and arrowed or something.
That was rough. That stabbing was continuous.
Yeah, but he let her.
He bow and arrowed her,
and like, you know, he wanted her to like bang on the window and try to warn your friend, but then there's no hope for her. And I'm like, it's still gross. A gross way to use someone's disability, in my opinion. But
it was totally a plot device, because it really did make it scarier to me. The idea of not being able to hear the person or speak and then have to fight against them. Like, that was horrifying. And I do like the way they did the sound. I thought that was kind of fun, where everything was sort of amplified. It was almost like made it sound like it was like a ultrasound machine. Sometimes you just hear this like light buzzing, and I read somewhere that they wanted to incorporate sound in some way, because the people watching this of this generation typically aren't going to sit and watch a silent film. They'll look for any distraction with sound, so they needed enough.
They haven't seen A Quiet Place.
Right.
I know.
I know. And I like that they made Quiet Place, they made it the way they were going to make it. If you want to watch it, watch it. This one seems like it was catering a bit to bring in a bigger audience.
The Hollywood Reporter leaked something, and they're like, we could do that.
But the sound was cool, but I loved those points where it was just totally silent.
Yeah.
That was very, very scary to me. I think it would have been really fascinating if they made it completely silent, if they just went all in.
I really loved her imagining sound, because she lost her hearing. And I was like, when she's cooking in the beginning and it's her imagination.
Right.
Or memory of
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought that was
That's
just for us. Oh, like kind of like, Suspiria, where like the sound was really amplified in certain areas.
Yeah.
That was her imagination.
I think that was her imagination, or her memory of what those sounds were. And then we like kind of zoom out of her perspective a little bit, and then we get the first glimpse of her death.
Interesting.
I really like that. And they did it a couple times.
There's interesting things about the movie that are playing with having a protagonist who is deaf for hearing audiences. I think it's made for hearing audiences. It's not made for the deaf community, which is over 1 billion people, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not small.
No, it's not small. And it's ignorant to not think of them at all when you're making a movie representing them. Hello.
I know.
And he had consultants on the movie or whatever. But I think as a movie that is for hearing people to kind of get a perspective into the deaf experience, I think it succeeds at that.
It did.
It succeeds at being scary and gory. And the female protagonist, Katie Siegel, she's actually a pretty decent actress. I mean, sure, her signing might not be great.
Yeah.
But she's in, like,
but
House
she's a
on
good
Haunted
actress.
Hill.
She was so good in
She's
that.
so good in that.
I loved her in that,
So she's pretty good. And I liked that her character was very resourceful and, like, kind of, like, you know, like, there's a part where she, like, dips her finger in her blood and, like, writes on glass. I was like, whoa, that is, like, intense.
She was hard fucking core. And the things she thought of, I just, like, just how perfectly she would maneuver, you know, to get him away, like, throw the flashlight out so she could go through the window and look for the phone in her friend's pocket. Like, she was a survivalist.
Oh, yeah.
I would want her on my team in a dystopian universe, I will tell you that.
Oh, yeah, because I would have just been like, well, I guess I'm dying, and I'll just, like, wait till he
Exactly.
gets in this
I
house.
would already be dead, but please use my body as you see fit. Like,
I don't know what I would
There's
do.
no dystopian universe where I want to survive.
It's like fight or flight.
Yeah.
I'm, like,
Are you
flying
freeze?
all the way, like, out of there. Like a bird flying like Nellie Furtado, okay? I'm out of there.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I love the idea of something. I mean, I don't love the idea of you being stalked by a masked killer, but I do love the idea of you maybe growing wings or just running and having Nellie Furtado's song playing as you go.
It would
away.
absolutely be playing, you know, as
Oh god.
great song.
I mean, it's fight, flight, or freeze or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess freeze has now finally been acknowledged as something that does happen when people are in trauma.
Mhm.
Are you a freeze person?
I'm a fetal position in the corner.
Got it.
Which I'm kind of in right now.
Right.
Yeah, this is the first time in a while Hillary sat as far as she could during a recording, and I can't help but wonder if it's because of the content. It might be. But I don't know. I think I would, you know what, I do all things. It really depends on the situation. Like, I haven't been in a situation where I've been attacked. So I can't say in that specific situation I'm very lucky, but in terms of stress induced or like feeling danger, I've done flight. I've definitely frozen. But I don't really, I'd like to think I would either fight back or frankly, if I didn't think anything could help, I would hope I would just be able to kill myself. I hate to say it, but I wouldn't want to wait. I wouldn't want to wait. That's the worst part. Like, it's like just, you know, like if you know you're going to die and you've just accepted it. Not that I'm being honest. I don't know if I could sit around and wait for him to come do it.
I honestly thought one of the scariest parts of the movie is when he turned the power off, and I was like, oh shit, the internet. What?
Right.
I would die. He took her phone, which was rude. I'm like, if those two things happened in the real world, like say the internet went away, what would we do? What would us millennial generation do?
I mean, it was true to life in terms of how she could connect with people, though.
Yeah,
Right.
but like, you know, not literally, maybe not literally the internet going away, but like if whatever your normal means of communication with the outside world is went away,
Right.
like if all the phone lines and all the satellites fell out of the sky and then we're just stuck, ugh.
And all the veneers fell off of the famous people.
God, that would be the best day of my life. I'm so curious about these famed celebrities.
We've just been, like on another reality show, we were probably talking about Bachelor in Paradise, and a lot of them come in and they don't seem like they have a lot of money, but damn, they do have those teeth, right? And then we told Tessa what it really is. Like their teeth are grounded down to like a spike. They don't have it.
That's insane.
Could you imagine like...
I mean, what did their teeth look like before? They probably weren't even bad.
Hillary Duff's like the biggest one I can think of where
she got them shaved a little bit
got,
eventually.
Like, too big of teeth and then had to like redo it.
I do remember that. And I was like, oh.
I do look at celebrity before and after to
Cardi
sometimes.
B's teeth look nice. She got new teeth.
Ben Affleck definitely got new teeth.
I mean, if you have a little baby teeth, then you gotta get veneers.
You gotta look.
Shave them down. They're already small.
I know. It's just like, but we thought maybe if something took over or some sort of like illness swept,
and only LA,
and only veneers.
Whatever glue is adhering them to your fang teeth.
Oh, I mean, I can't imagine. I've never had a cavity, so veneer seems like really far away from my life.
Wow, you have really nice teeth.
Yes, I know. It's so weird to talk about teeth because then I'm just looking at teeth.
Yeah.
If you're listening at home, look in the mirror right now at your teeth, and you're beautiful, and that's great.
Once you get it in your head, it's all you see. And
Yeah.
what you just said reminded me, like I had to break up with someone years and years ago because of a tooth situation.
Oh, no.
And it was just, something wasn't being taken care of. We were very casual when we were dating, so it's not like this was a long-term thing, but there was a smell coming out, and
like
it was
rotten tooth.
It was something that
no.
and I just was really kind of grossed out by the fact that he wasn't getting it taken care of. Like things happen, fine. But it got so stuck in my head that I saw everyone's teeth. The first thing I saw everywhere I went was someone's teeth, and then I had to end it.
Yeah.
I even brought it up. I even
like,
tried
go
in
to
a
the
very
dentist?
in a kind way, but like, listen, something's going on in there. It seems kind of serious. Are you thinking about getting something done? He's like, well, yeah, my dentist is, over in this state, and he had money. He was pretty successful, so it was another reason where I thought it was weird that he wasn't just getting it taken care of. There weren't like obstacles.
Yeah.
That's really the end of it. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't have even made it that far. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Some things, because I'm like, I'm gonna have to put my mouth on your mouth eventually, and I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
it was strange.
There's only so many excuses you can come up with.
I tried for a bit, and I asked my brother, and he's pretty point blank and stuff, and just very straightforward. And he's like, Tricia, you can't date someone you can't look at.
There you go. Well,
I was like, oh my God.
Words to live by. Words to
Very,
live by.
you know what I mean? Just that's it. You can't be with someone you can't look straight in the face.
Oh my God, that's great.
Oh God, would you veneer? Let's see.
It's the shaved down baby teeth.
Oh, I can't see that. I don't want to know.
Oh.
Whoa.
God,
All right.
That will never be in your future, though. You are set, buddy.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
God,
I'm
I
glad.
wanna be a
And you also have
villain
an
now.
amazing, charming little space, which I hope that you do not get it taken care of
Oh,
unless
no.
it causes you
I
trouble. or
spit
something.
water through it sometimes
Perfect.
for fun.
I love them. Everyone seems to kind of like bring them together, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I like the imperfection. Imperfection in terms of like spacing, totally
Mhm.
fine.
I love it too.
Uh,
But I got braces and I was young, and so it wasn't even really like a choice of mine. Mine were really fucked up. I had like rows, like a row behind of teeth. I had too many teeth.
What?
You're like a shark.
Yep.
I had two extra
Just
ones.
poking rack.
But they
Yeah.
just
Were they
fell
baby
out.
teeth?
Oh, they did?
No, I had them taken out and then they never grew back in. So it wasn't like any adult ones back there. They're just extra
I had
teeth.
permanent teeth pulled. Like, it was all sorts of fucked up, so they didn't have a lot of options. But if I had a nice, clean, like, charming smile with some crooked teeth, I would have loved it.
I always wanted braces when I was a kid. I didn't have
Me
them.
too.
I
me
really
too,
did,
actually.
because everyone had them, and it seemed like
It's the worst.
I know, but it
but
looks
it
so
seemed
fun.
like I want to be in with what's going
Definitely
on, and I just
fun.
wanted that.
You
It's
want-
like being jealous of a kid with a cast.
I've always wanted a
me
cast. I've
too.
never
Truth.
broken anything. I wanted to be like, sign my cast.
I really
did
think
something
we're
wild.
the same person. I really do.
Patrick and I are wearing pretty much the same
Yeah,
outfit.
pretty
you guys,
much.
you guys are actually the same
It's
person.
kind of crazy. I didn't know I was going to meet my twin today, but here we
Triplet.
are.
She's already a
I already
twin.
have
Oh,
a twin.
wait, you're
So
literally a
we're
twin?
triplets.
Oh, good. I'm glad. How fun is that? I'm just taking a picture right now. Okay, great.
Real time. You guys really are, and I'm glad that you're jealous of people who had infirmities. Is that the
Mhm.
word? Infirmity
Sure.
issues,
I mean,
weaknesses.
We're making words up on this episode
Yeah.
today, so.
Representate. So we talked about. Oh God, what else was there? Okay, so yeah, a lot of issues
Okay.
with the sign language, lip pattern,
I
saw a
want
lot
to
of
talk about
stuff.
her house.
Let's
Oof.
check.
I would buy that house. It was gorgeous. That loft space. I was like,
She
who
had a
are
great-
you? And like, what? I tried to stop or pause to read the back of her book when they showed it, but I was like, I don't care about you. I want to know what this book was about so I can know exactly the blueprint to get a house like this.
Oh yeah. Her house was
It was
amazing.
gorgeous. And I was like,
Mhm.
how?
She's been writing some good books, I guess.
Right?
to get
But I
that
wonder if it was like a
house.
suspense novel. Like, it was like, is that how she knows what to do? And like, to give herself this pep talk at the end?
That makes sense. It's gotta be. I mean,
And there was
you know,
a Stephen King novel, I think, that was like somewhere in the background. So maybe,
Ooh.
and he gave this like really high reviews.
Oh,
Also,
really?
yeah, like it did get really good reviews from other like people involved in crime.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like a
books and
horror
genre.
movie, I think it
Yeah.
succeeds.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was scary as fuck. scary as fuck. Mm-hmm. And when he showed his face, I was like, oh, it's on. Like, that's another twist where it's like, well, now you have seen my face, so you are going to die.
Right.
I thought that was like, I hadn't seen that before, where it was the person taking it off for that reason.
I do wish he didn't take it off.
I know.
Because then he could be anyone, and that's more terrifying.
You think so?
That he could, even if they killed him, like, spoilers.
I mean,
yeah, guys,
yeah,
maybe
we do spoilers on this thing, right?
Yeah, you can tell them.
You've seen it.
He dies. She kicks his ass at the end.
But like, I just think that the anonymity. It's like in a horror movie when you never see the creature. It's like a dark shadow. It's because then it could be anything and it could be anywhere.
So you like
I
Blair
like that
Witch?
they didn't show him in the house either because again, he should just be in the background being menacing.
Mm-hmm.
That's good enough.
When he took off that mask, I was like a little disappointed that he wasn't hotter.
Right?
He looked like a child, kind of.
I feel like
really
this
young.
is where that Bachelor in Paradise guy, this is
know.
where his future is.
Oh, yes.
Because he's going to go off the deep end. He's
Deanie
going to realize that being
Deanie
poor...
babies.
He's the crossbow killer.
Deanie would be... Oh
He's
my
got
God,
nothing
guys, they
but
should
time.
cast him.
He's got nothing but time. And obvious. And is he the same guy with the mustache?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a killer move.
Right.
That's a murder.
We'll remake the movie with a deaf actress portraying the lead character.
Yes.
We'll cast Deanie babies. It'll be great.
Babies.
Then when he takes off the mask, we'll be really happy and excited, and we'll be rooting for him.
He has pearly white, his pearly whites and just his blonde. We'll bring it back to his blonde hair.
That's
Yes.
amazing. I really feel like they should make a reality show that is a horror movie. And then you have to survive. Like, they can do, like, multiple episodes or whatever, but, like, why aren't more people fake dying in reality TV?
Yeah.
Because enough people are really dying that are in reality TV.
They die?
Oh, not on Bachelor in Paradise. They're not dying.
No, but off screen, like a bunch of suicides by Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants, they're dying in real life.
Oh.
You want them dying on the show?
Not on camera.
No.
Not on camera. Just in the privacy of their own home.
Never mind.
Right. Yeah. This got dark.
Yeah.
This got real dark.
I didn't know any of this.
Can I just say in defense of Deanie Baby, though? It's not like a defense, but an explanation. His childhood and growing up is all sorts of screwed up.
Cult.
No, but his dad is part of a religion that a lot of people consider a cult, and his mom died when he was young, and then his siblings moved out, and I think his dad maybe stopped taking care of him or something. So like he's been, it's not shocking to me that like he doesn't really want something very close with someone. They've all kind of like let him down, quote unquote. You know, it just like,
wait, it's not a love show? He's on the show with love?
Bachelor in Paradise.
But that's his
so he
real,
does want to be with someone.
He wants to, but he comes across to me like someone who wants it, but will probably screw it up whenever it's close to happening. And then I learned about his background.
Because he doesn't think he deserves it.
Yeah, because they've let him down or died, or I mean, it's all these things where it's just like, oh God, we're all part of our childhood pattern. You know,
we're not therapists, but you can totally call us doctors. Okay?
Yeah.
Doctor Tessa. I can
That's a
impersonate?
doctor.
Because I feel like that's what we're doing right now.
I think so. We are three
Deanie
therapists.
Babies, we'd like you to write in.
Yeah.
Come on the podcast. We will therapute you since we're making up words.
And we'll all probably hit on you.
We'll all hit on you. Please take off your shirt while you're here.
Oh yeah, it's a shirtless
Does he live in like a tiny house or something?
No, he doesn't. He has a van. He doesn't have a house.
Yeah, he doesn't even have
just
like a
regular
trailer.
old van? Not even like with a bed or like the 70s. Like...
Oh, I'm sure he has some sort of...
He should do like HGTV tiny homes so we can see what the situation is.
Yeah. I'd be into that.
And the girl that was is really into
town
him.
to town on dates. You just find your girl in the U.S.
You know what? They should.
Guys,
they should
seriously on the show.
I think you should produce all the reality shows because you've had some great ideas.
I really want that horror one. I'm back
ideas.
on it, and I was like, I still think it would be fun.
Yeah.
You should be a producer
on horror on
reality, but you hate reality TV.
I do. I can't watch it, but I will suggest things for other people to do.
But I mean, that's the perfect person to produce reality TV because you hate it.
A non-believer,
and you just sort of like make. If you like it too much, you get too involved.
Yeah, I'm too close. I'm too close. Yeah. But your sociopathic tendencies, as we have taken a test, and your result was moderate.
Yeah, I told my friend, I was like, yeah, some of my sociopath tendencies have been coming out lately because I've been very stressed, and I just want to control people. And so I was like, I'm not like spicy. I'm like a very good medium, or like I think there's medium,
Mild.
or mild, medium, and spicy. And so I'm still in like a mild sociopath.
Mm-hmm.
But it do spike up to spicy sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know
It's
what
been a rough
sociopath
month.
means. What does that mean?
I mean, it means lacking empathy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how you can do that in a mild, medium, or spicy.
Well, you heard my tirade about Guitar Center and Home Depot today, so I'm
yeah.
like, I'm obviously
Yeah.
lacking some empathy.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
a
get it
lack
back.
Of,
I
it's
get
a
it
lack
back.
of empathy. I actually have a book here called The Sociopath Next Door
Ooh.
somewhere, and it tells a bunch of different stories about sociopaths.
Well, I live more than a mile from you, so.
I know you're not next door. The sociopath, your friend.
Yeah. Sociopath you're sitting next to.
Oh my god. All right. So obviously she's a strong female lead. Do we all agree on that or no? Agency impacts the plot and top build. What do we think? She's top build.
Definitely. She's like only build.
Yeah.
Only build.
Casey.
It's like 5 actors in this movie total.
SFL build. She has the most screen time, etc.
Uh-huh.
She definitely has agency.
Mhm.
And I think she moved the plot along in terms of, kind of keeping the cat and mouse. Like, she was being chased a lot, but then she did end up changing the rules at times, and then he had to react.
Right.
And then she beat him. So I don't know.
Yes. There are some things that were annoying, like the boyfriend, like, trope of, like, him coming to save her. Or, like, she was, like, going through a breakup. I was like, oh, God, here we go.
Yeah.
But that didn't really come into fruition like I thought it would.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was nice. A nice twist on that kind of
The guy
trope.
not being able to save her.
Right. Not
Yeah.
even close to saving her. Like, he gets killed so bad. So
That's the other girl's boyfriend.
Yeah, it was the other
Oh,
one.
it was. Whatever.
The neighbor.
The neighbor, Sarah.
And he actually died, well, not because of her, but he was going to attack the killer, and then she pounded on the glass, and then he looked, and then he got
Knifed in the neck
knifed
or
and
something.
whatever.
Yeah.
But he still managed to, like, almost choke the guy, like, as he was dying.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
Which-
murder 14 for that guy.
Which was awesome.
And she also killed the guy with a wine cork, which, on my
Love.
podcast,
Love.
Wine Cork, we talk about, we drink wine.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's good to know that my wine cork could be a weapon. I will
Yes.
notate that whenever I'm getting attacked.
I love that. Yeah.
I do like that.
I was wondering, how did she know he was behind her when she stabbed him? Did she feel his breath? I read that somewhere. I was trying to
Yeah.
think of the senses she was
his
using.
breath. She's
Mhm.
like in and out of consciousness because she's losing so much blood.
Mhm.
Then she feels his breath on her neck.
Okay.
He's
She
got-
probably has heightened senses because she doesn't have
Right.
hearing sense.
Right.
She probably feel that.
Hot breath on your neck.
Mm.
Hot stranger murder
Time to
breath.
stab. Ooh, hot stranger murder breath.
Yes, but I'd say strong female lead, sure. Despite the problematic death thing that we talked about.
Yes.
But that's not the character, that's the production.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Tess?
I agree that she's a strong female lead. I don't know. I'm like struggling with the agency part. I think she had.
I mean,
all of
as
her
much as
agency.
someone has when they're being, stalked
Yeah.
and pursued. I mean, you
Mhm.
lose a little bit of it because she can't just leave. But she has the agency of her, like, thoughts and her ability to maneuver the situation, I guess.
Yeah. I think she does. I'll give it to her. Strong female lead.
Wow.
Do we
it,
do like a
Maddie?
thing like strong female lead at the part?
A jump of
One,
We
two,
all like-
three. Strong female lead.
Yeah. And we like all put our fists in the air for the people who can't see.
Fist pumps. I know. I think it was. And you know what? We rarely have a movie where both of us agree that the person's
cool.
a strong female lead. So, well
Leave
done.
it to a slasher flick, Nev
No,
Campbell,
seriously.
strong female lead.
Oh my god. Well, what would you guys rate it?
Humph. I'm gonna give this.
Very phonetic.
Humph. I'm gonna give this 3.5 bloody corkscrews.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Because of the problems?
Not really. I mean, I would recommend people watch it. Like, it's a good time
Mhm.
if you like thrillers and
Right.
horror.
Right.
I think although it's problematic, I think it's nice to see a person with who is differently able on screen,
Mhm.
even if the representation wasn't perfect.
Did you say differently able?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
I always...
Because other than disabled, like, you know how they just, a lot of language, like gender confirmation rather than gender reassignment, that kind of stuff, differently abled or different, but that is, you should try and push that.
I didn't make
it happen. Make it happen.
I mean, I did. Trademark. That's how you trademark things. You just say
good.
it.
Okay, great.
TC. Little TC in a circle.
Yep.
3.5?
3.5. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I do like horror movies a lot. I watch a lot. This one, it really keeps you going until the end. I think a couple of things were, to me, a little problematic. Like, it didn't, I think it was probably just like some editing decisions that I was like, what? Did I miss a scene? I definitely went back a couple times and I was like, did I just miss something? Why is she like, how did she get here and what's happening?
How'd she make that move and how'd she,
Yeah, I did love the wasp spray when she sprayed him in the face.
I didn't know what that was.
Girl.
Okay.
Very
so
extremities.
Happy.
You don't know about extremities?
Yes.
You should cover that on this podcast. Strong female lead.
Ooh.
Farrah Fawcett.
Ooh.
Extremities. It was a play.
Nice.
In the 80s.
And she uses a spray?
She uses wasp spray to like get her rapist.
Good.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that.
And I love how she's using household items to like take this guy down. So I was like, thanks. Don't just leave me like in the lurch because I don't want my house to be scary. But I'm like, there are weapons here should someone try to attack me.
I like the use of household items.
Yeah.
I watched Zach and I watched a documentary about the oh gosh, what's his name? The
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Not the Grim Reaper, but
Jack the Reaper?
But the killer who, like, the sleeping, he was a serial killer, and he was recently caught and stuff, and he killed a lot of people.
Golden Gate Killer?
No, the other one. And I wish I remembered the name. It's something that rhymes with Eber. And I'm going to look it up. But one of the women who escaped him used Visine and put it in his drink, and she said it put people to sleep. I thought that was brilliant.
That gives you diarrhea.
And I'd like to test it out. It's a histamine. So I guess it makes sense, but I've never heard of that, and I think that's kind of brilliant. That's how she escaped.
I like that.
The sleeping.
That's what they should like run down at the end is like other ways to potentially protect yourself at the end. Like if you're stuck in your own home. Because I was like, I don't have a loft to run to. I don't have like all these bathrooms and fancy ass like kitchen tools. Can't throw a KitchenAid at him.
Or sleeping.
But maybe like some Pam to the face. Maybe that would like buy me a couple seconds. Or
I have to look it up.
Oh goodness.
I'm looking it up. Oh God. There's so many different names for these killers I can't.
Ooh, what would your serial killer name be? / your weapon?
Like if I were a serial killer?
Mm-hmm. Just the previous question you could ask.
Yeah.
Grim Sleeper. Okay.
Grim Sleeper.
Grim Sleeper. That was the person.
That's so mean. I love sleeping. Don't take that.
Well, they I know.
Sleeping.
They called him that though because like they thought he had disappeared for a while and then came back, but he actually hadn't. But my name, if I were to be a serial killer, how about the Cuddle Killer? What if I cuddled them to death?
That's great. That's so cute.
I just cuddle them to death and then just suffocate them.
Yeah, the headlock.
The Cuddle Killer, the Cuddle Killing Spree. I wouldn't want to be killed by someone called the Cuddle Killer, though.
No, it'd make me seem sad.
Yeah, that was a hard question.
Yeah, brunchers beware.
Why don't you ask Patrick? I know. She asked me these questions. I'm not.
Well, Patrick couldn't answer too.
What my killer name would be?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The gay killer, probably. Just keep it on brand.
The gay man that kills.
I'm a gay man killer. There you go.
It sounds.
I'm not.
It sounds like you're killing gay men.
Yeah.
Oh well, killing them with kindness.
Ooh. Oh my God. Okay, well, I would rate this like 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 fire alarms.
Ooh,
blazing fire alarms.
I need one of those in like real life.
It was like a disco ball dance. That shit was wild.
But that's the type of I feel like is that for sale or like
probably
how do you get one of those?
You could look it up. I'm sure there's a supply
Totally.
source.
They
Guys,
gotta
send
have
them
'em.
to our P.O. box that we don't have, but just get it here.
That was scary when we saw him trying to kill her, and there was no sound and just the lights.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, in that moment, I would rather have no sound.
Right.
You know, like that was a moment where I was like, oh, that actually makes it would be a little easier for me as a hearing person, right? Maybe not, it doesn't make a difference for person if they can't hear, but me, I would be like, I guess I wouldn't want to hear him screaming at me.
No.
Anyways, 3 out of 5 for me. What about you, Patrick?
So on Lifetime Uncorked, we either put a cork in it or pour it up. So we have like one or the other. There's no in between. So if this was on my podcast, Lifetime Uncorked, I would probably have to put a cork in it because of the problematic production side of things. Like, that doesn't fly with me, and these people should be held accountable, and it sounds like they were by the deaf community, but no one's really advocating for the deaf community. So you know, it's our role as marginalized people to do that. So you know, all marginalized people need other marginalized people to stand up for them. So I'm standing up for the deaf community. I'm putting a cork in this. You know, if
what
I
would
had
you
to
do in terms of strong female
in my
lead?
strong female lead rating, I would give it 2 untitled books that we don't know what the title is.
Untitled
genre.
book with half a synopsis.
Yeah, I give it a solid 2. 1 for scares and 1 for the lead actress. I actually liked her.
Nice. I like it. And that is interesting because we do look at them for different reasons, right? So for strong female lead, I thought she was great. The movie itself,
I thought the
gave
acting
it a 3
was
out of
super
5.
solid from everyone.
Yeah.
But
all
all
the
that
stuff you're
redhead who was there
saying-
for like 5 seconds, I was like, she's putting in work.
I know.
I see you.
I get what you're saying, though. Yeah, it is an issue with representation. We've been talking about that a lot on the podcast. People with disabilities definitely get
are invisible. They
pretty
much don't exist.
Well, and hey, there was no POCs in this movie at all. Just always want to point that out so everyone can realize that white actors get way more opportunities than anybody of color. So
yeah, they didn't even have like a friend.
Well, the boyfriend, but he was just pictured. So
right.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right. God,
I'm not
what a
gonna really
weird
count
way
that.
to incorporate those. So
Diversity.
we have diversity, and she's in a relationship with a black man, but
that's
not
even
actually
funnier when
you
you
know
think.
that man came with the frame, okay?
I was like, okay, that's your ex. Cool.
I know. Well, so Patrick, you already did a little bit, but tell us a little more about your podcast. Plug yourself, boy.
Okay, so Lifetime Uncorked is a podcast about Lifetime, obviously, TV movies. We talk about very similar things, strong female leads. That's why I like Lifetime, because they have strong female leads in every one of their movies. Always a female protagonist. Are they problematic? Hell, yes, they are. Go back to the 90s or the 80s, and you will see
that's
some
the golden age of Lifetime.
wild shit. Very problematic.
Yeah.
So we cover mostly up to date, like recent Lifetime movies, but we did a series on eating disorders. We're going to be doing a series on like abuse and just domestic abuse, domestic violence, to talk about just like things that need to be talked about, maybe revisited, like check in how it was represented. My word again. In the past, and how we can move that into the future, and talk about stuff like that. And I always have, or I try to always have, a female guest. Because it's me, my producer, Drew Bear. He doesn't watch the movies, and we explain it to him.
They're always female guests.
I try to have female guests. Sometimes I bring on like a straight boy that I think's cute, just so I can like flirt with him on the podcast.
Like that.
Ooh, we need that. Let's get that going.
Yeah.
Yes. So, you know, if I have a crush on someone, I usually bring them on the podcast.
I like that.
Ooh, that's a good vetting system.
It is. See, you know, it's kind of like a date, you know? Because you're like, if I can do a podcast with you, I can definitely fuck you.
I love the idea of a date, you just having to listen to me talk.
Right?
You want to give your date a microphone?
No.
I'm not sure.
No.
Not if they're just there for me to look at.
Whenever I'm on a date, I'm always talking about them or like asking them questions, and I'm like, hello, can we like get some like back and forth here?
That is to me like my number one red flag. If you're not asking me any questions, I'm like, well, this isn't going to work. How pretty are you?
Right.
On a real date, you should definitely ask questions. Yeah.
Yes. And it's interesting being a podcaster now because I could literally talk to anyone for like 2 hours, no problem. Yeah. So going on first dates are really problematic for me because I will just be there forever. And I have to like give myself an out. I have to like have someone text me now because
You'll just
could talk to anyone. Even if I know like right away, I'm like, there's no spark here. I will talk and just like hang out.
Because you're a great conversationalist.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So where can they find you on
LifetimeUncorked.com is our website. You can find us on all the things, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. And Tricia did an episode. It was great. We'll have her back on.
I love doing that.
I think all y'all should come on because we have enough spots
in
the studio. We have so many mics.
So you'd be right up there with a mic, which we want.
Crossover. So let's do a crossover episode. It'll be great. Christmas is coming, so if you like Christmas movies, we'll be doing the Lifetime. It's a Wonderful Lifetime. We also cover the Hallmark Christmas ones because they are the most problematic of them all, and they're doing a Jewish one. And I brought a picture that I'm going to show you of Joey Lawrence. I'll turn this around for you. Joey Lawrence, some chick with a menorah, and Mary Lou Henner. With like a prosthetic Jewish nose or maybe some contouring on her nose to look more Jewy. Real problematic. This is actually from a 2012 Hallmark movie, so hopefully they'll do better this time.
Joey fucking Lawrence.
Wow.
Joey Lawrence, man.
God, I need to get more into Hallmark because really I've only watched a couple of those and I liked Lifetime because they were more fucked up.
Yes.
But more Hallmark is just, I don't know, just the pace of them and stuff. It's very crazy.
Hallmark's like what people think Christmas is supposed to be like an aspirational, perfect Christmas type of thing. Lifetime's more like about family and like being with your loved ones at Christmas.
Okay.
That's like the vibe of like each. Hallmark's like very traditional Christmas. You're going to bake a gingerbread house and you're gonna do the Christmas tree lighting in your town square, and it's just not the best.
Love under the mistletoe.
Yes,
nice,
it's good stuff. I'm very excited about the Netflix holiday lineup. They're gonna have a lot of holiday movies coming out, and I'm very jazzed.
Hell yeah, their Christmas ones are pretty good.
They are, and I'm just
still have Elf, right? And like
they do like original content now.
Yeah.
Oh,
they did like Christmas Prince and.
Oh,
did you watch Christmas Prince?
No,
it was like the #1 movie last year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know they.
I think there's going to be a Christmas Prince too, so get excited.
I think that came out last year. Actually.
Is it a love story?
Yeah, already happened. I know all the Christmas things. So if you have Christmas trivia, just hit me up at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime Uncorked.
We're the same person. It is.
It's so weird. I didn't know I was a triplet. I didn't know.
You need to meet your twin then, too.
I can't wait. Well, martinis. We'll get martinis.
Yes, martinis. Meet us at martinis.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Yeah. So what? Let's go. We're done, right? No.
We're leaving, right? So, all right, you guys, you can find us at Strong Female Pod on Instagram.
Yes, and on Twitter at SFL_Chicago.
And we have a Facebook situation called the Strong Female Lead Podcast.
Yes.
We need to bump that up. We keep talking about bumping that one up a little.
Yeah. Guys, if you like Facebook and you want to interact with us there, let us know. We'll get back on it. But it seems like most people are on Instagram.
Instagram seems to be the way to go. So go ahead on Apple Podcasts, and if you like what you hear, rate us 5 stars and leave a review and subscribe. And we do take your suggestions very, very seriously. In fact,
even if they break our hearts, we'll take your suggestion.
In fact, the next episode we will be doing is about Glitter, Mariah Carey's amazing piece of
tour de force film extravaganza full of music and joy in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. And it was suggested by one of our listeners. So we just want you to know that we will do your movie. And I think that's about it. Thank you so much, Patrick, for joining us. We loved having you.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you guys are friends. I'm going to get jealous if you become too close. So I'm going to have to I'm going to have to insert myself into the middle of that the way that you do, Tessa.
Of my sisters.
Just kind of. So I love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Yay.
All right.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
I was half joking.